Okay, so today we're going to set up private endpoints uh, on a VNet so that it can connect to uh, a file share, but it could be any sort of service. Uh, so here we are in our virtual network. If you go to private endpoint, you can see we don't have any, but that's not where we set it up. We're going to type private endpoint. And the reason you do a private endpoint instead of let me go back for a second. You do a private endpoint instead of a service endpoint is because the service endpoint is routed by Microsoft, normal routing, and it could go out to the public internet. And if you wanted something more secure or private, you needed that. You just wanted to go totally over internal networks, you'd go to private endpoint. All right. Private endpoints. I'm going to create a new one. Resource group 1. We'll name it private endpoint 1. It's going to create a NIC for us. And then we're going to next for resource. And there's lots of resources. We're doing the, where is it? Storage count. Like I said, you can connect all kinds of things. Here is my storage count that I already have created from my past lab, and we are going to connect to a file share. There's all kinds of stuff in there you can connect to also, but we're going to a file share. Then we're going to hit virtual network subnet. Okay, that's all correct. That's my default subnet. We're going to dynamically locate an IP address for it. Don't think we're going to need an application security group this time. We're going to go to DNS, and what it's going to do is create you a private DNS zone to integrate with, and it will do that automatically. If you had a DNS zone, you could add it to, one that you currently have, but I don't have one, so we're going to let it create it. And we're going to hit review and create, and hit create, and let that submit and deploy. Here's our private endpoint. Okay, that's deployed. This is our private endpoint. Go to private DNS zone. We can see that it made us one. going to click on it. Maybe not wait for it because it kind of locked up there. Okay, and we're going to hit record sets, and we can see that it made an A record for my lab storage count. Copy this. We're going to take a copy of that. Close that up. Then we're going to go back to our storage count that we had made in the past lab, and we are going to change the access from public to just to private access. Okay, so under networking, we're going to change the public network access to disabled. And it actually tells you that you should make a private endpoint to grant access. So we're going to save that. So after this got saved, you can come over here to private endpoint connections, and you can see that the connection is approved and it's good to go. So then we're going to go over to our virtual machine that is in that VNet, and first thing I'm going to do is see if I can resolve the A record that it made for me. And if we do that, we can see that it resolves correctly. And then next we will be adding the file share. Okay, so we're going to go back over to lab storage count. My file share window, sorry, and hit connect. And then same thing, we're going to do, see the Windows box, we'll put on a dry little Z, we'll hit show script here, we'll grab this script, go back to our VM, bring up PowerShell, ISE. We're going to paste the script into there, and then we're going to run it, and hopefully it will mount the file share. And there you have it, it did. If we go bring up Windows Explorer, I know it's kind of small, but you can see that it mounted, and it still has the stuff I copied over from before. And that is how to use private links to connect VNets to Azure services. We're going to go back to the virtual network real quick, and we're going to hit just to see private endpoint here, and you can see that it is connected. And here in private endpoints, you can also see that it is connected and in a connection state of approved. Thanks for watching.